You have not found the right doctor yet. That's what you keep telling yourself. So you book another appointment, a new rheumatologist, a different center, just one more opinion. But what if the problem is not the doctors you've seen? It's the system you're stuck in. Hi, I'm Dr. Kara Wada. I'm a quadruple board certified allergy, immunology, lifestyle medicine physician. I also personally live with Sjogren's disease and dysautonomia. So when I say I understand what it feels like to sit in yet another waiting room, hoping this one will be different, I mean that from both sides of the exam room. Today, I want to talk to you about something I see constantly in my practice, the doctor hopping cycle, why it happens, why it keeps you stuck, and what actually moves the needle instead. Save this before your next appointment. Let's get into it. A quick note, this is not medical advice for your unique individual situation. These are patterns that I see clinically and what the research supports broadly. So I want to start with a statistic that reframes everything. Before I get into the why, I want to give you one number. Women with Sjogren's disease wait an average of 3.47 years for a confirmed diagnosis. And it's not because they weren't persistent enough, because every specialist they saw was just looking at one piece of the puzzle, and no one was looking at the whole picture. And that's not a you problem, that's a system problem. So let me show you what is actually happening every time you book a new specialist. Every new doctor starts from zero. New patient forms, full history again, new tests ordered, and often no one's been able to read what that last doctor wrote. No one is building on what came before. So booking another appointment feels like doing something, feels like you're maybe trying to start some momentum, but what it actually is it's tending to reset the clock every single time. And that's not to say that having a fresh set of eyes isn't a bad thing. Sometimes it is what you need. You want someone who doesn't have preconceived notions of what's going on. But the problem is when you only have 10, 20, maybe 30 minutes to get through your whole history, it really does make it feel like you're chasing your tail. Here's the other thing. Each specialist is trained to rule out what's in their lane. An ophthalmologist looks at what they can treat. The neurologist rules out what they can, what they can't treat. Gastroenterologist, same thing. Is it Crohn's? Is it ulcerative colitis? Nope. Oh, must be IBS. Move along. And when they don't find something that they can easily fix, they often refer you on. I call this the game of hot potato. Nobody in that chain is asking the questions that actually matters. Why is all of this happening in the same person at the same time or over a series of years? And that question does not belong in anyone's specialty. Ideally, it should be with your primary care physician, but their schedules have been so crammed, having to see 25 plus patients in a day, all with different stories. Their patient panels are in the thousands. It's not a system that sets us up for success. So in the current system, we often belong to no one at all. The next part explains why this cycle keeps going. Sjogren's is not just dry eyes and dry mouth. Up to 40% of patients have symptoms that show up in completely different systems of the body when they first present. Often nerve symptoms like tingling, burning pain, numbness. They might go to neurology. They have breathing issues like a chronic cough or shortness of breath. It's gonna maybe go to pulmonology, maybe ear, nose, and throat, maybe the allergist to make sure it's not asthma, make sure it's not allergies. It may be brushed off as silent reflux, heart rhythm irregularities, cold hands, palpitations. They're going to go see cardiology. And those gut symptoms that often aren't enough to be recognized necessarily as ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, maybe they're celiac, because celiac and Sjogren's tend to go together, but often the scopes are pretty normal. You have joint pain that moves around, skin rashes, thyroid dysfunction. Each specialty looks at a different disease, and each different disease has a different specialist. Each one triggers its own referral chain and testing chain. And because Sjogren's overlaps so many other conditions in its symptoms and how it presents, fibromyalgia, anxiety, chronic fatigue, it often doesn't get named until someone finally steps back and looks at the whole terrain. So if you end up cycling through appointments, each one rules out their condition. Nope, tests look normal. They send you on. And the whole time, no one is connecting the dots. This is not you being a difficult patient. This is a system doing exactly what it was designed to do, function within silos and drive up cost. So what do you do differently? Someone has to captain your care. And here's the part that might not surprise you. It doesn't have to be a new physician or doctor or clinician. Often the best person positioned to hold the full picture of you is you, armed with the right questions and in a clear way of presenting your symptom pattern so that whoever you're seeing cannot just look at their piece of the puzzle. The research is clear on what actually changes outcomes in Sjogren's, not the number of specialists. 2 things being taken seriously and being empowered to participate in your own care. What coordinated care looks like in practice, one person holding the full picture, bringing the dots together instead of just adding more dots, whether that's your rheumatologist, your primary care doctor, or in many cases yourself, someone needs to be reading the whole story, not just one chapter. And that's the gap worth filling, someone who can be the captain of your team. If what I'm describing is your experience, the 5th annual virtual Sjogren Summit this July is exactly where this conversation continues. Stronger with Sjogren's world-class experts, a new era of treatment, real tools for navigating the system. It's virtual, it's interactive. The waitlist is in the description. It is completely free to attend live. Takes 30 seconds, and I would love to see you there. Here's what I want to hear from you. Before I send you anywhere, I want you to name something. If you have spent years going from doctor to doctor, clinician to clinician, feeling like you were failing and getting better, you were not failing. You were doing exactly what made sense given what you knew. Booking another appointment is a reasonable response when the system keeps telling you the answer is somewhere else. You were not the problem. The model was the problem. And here's what I want you to know. And I genuinely read every single one of these. How many specialists did you see before someone finally connected the dots for you? Are you still on your diagnostic odyssey? Where's your count at? Drop your number in the comments, because that answer matters for everyone who finds this video next and needs to know that they're not alone. And if this gave you language that you didn't have before, save it. Send it to someone who is still on that odyssey, still playing hot potato from appointment to appointment, and has not figured out why nothing's sticking. And if this is the kind of content that helps you, subscribe. This is exactly what this channel is for. New videos every week, science-backed. We try to minimize the fluff, and I'll see you in the next one. Before I go, a few resources in the description with bookmarking. The free Immune Confident Lab Conversation Guide gives you the exact markers to ask about and what specific questions to use at your next appointment so that you can stop leaving empty-handed. It's a free PDF. We also have the Immune Confident Indicator. It's a quiz. Who doesn't like a quiz? I'm an elder millennial. I love me some quizzes. Also free, takes 2 to 3 minutes. Gives you a starting picture of where your immune health currently stands. Kind of take stock of your symptoms. The link is in the description. And if you're looking for a bit better clarity on the whole terrain, something like Function Health, we've put together the IC Blueprint Checkup. It is 81 markers of immune, metabolic, and cardiovascular health all looked at together. We've partnered with Quest and FullScript to help folks really be empowered in their care. It's an educational assessment, does not establish a physician-patient relationship. Now, if you are a current patient of ours at the Immune Confident Institute, don't purchase it. Message us Terrain in your portal instead, and we'll get you all set up. One more thing, if you are looking for a clinician who approaches care this way and you want to work with me directly, I have a list of the states I am currently licensed in the description. If your state isn't listed there, message us so we can talk about next steps. Until next time, be well and take care.